this is how you can use the Jamboard app on your iPad. So download the app first of all, and then open up Jamboard and create a new jam. So I'm swiping from the middle of my iPad, typing in jam, and Jamboard appears. Down at the bottom corner, what you can see then is this little plus. So tap on this plus and a new jam opens up. So firstly, let's rename it so we can find it easy in our drive later. So I tap these 3 vertical dots and then choose rename. I'm going to call this practice jam 2, rename. Next, let's explore the tools. So down the side, what you've got is this little pen tool, an eraser tool. When you tap on the eraser, you can erase individual items, or if you tap again, you can clear the whole frame. Now, Jamboard doesn't have a version history, so just be careful the pupils don't delete the whole frame. If they do, down at the bottom, you can use these undo buttons to get it back to where you were. Selection tool, laser pointer to select things out, plus tool, and we've got lots in here, sticky notes, images that you can search from Google, drive content, taking it directly in from your Google Drive, camera, you can take camera of images. That's good for the pupils if they were if they're using it on their mobile phone, they can of their work and send it in to you, and then some wee stickers that are useful. Okay, so let's make a jam now, and then I'll show you how you can share that out into your meeting. So the first one then, I'll go for a sticky note. So what I'm going to make is a little temperature check type of a Jamboard. So here I'm going to have 3 post-it notes. One asking if they're okay. Another sticky note. Notice when I click on the colour here, I can change it to a different colour. So that's if they're not really okay. And then plus sticky note. And this time amber to say not okay. And now what I've created are 3 categories. I'm going to separate the categories by clicking the pen tool, clicking on the colour, lines, 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 and that's it. So now what I can ask the pupils to do is to come onto this frame, put on their own sticky note like this. So I put my name in here. And they'll drag their sticky note down to the bottom. Now my name didn't go in, so I'll just check that. So I click the 3 vertical dots, do edit, and I'll pop that in again. There we go, I didn't give it time. And that's now the name down at the bottom. Notice I move it around by clicking selection tool, tap on it, and then I can move it around. So in the lesson, you'll have all of the pupils on here, putting their names down at the bottom like this, asking them a question, and they can move it to whatever category suits. This could also be questions on different parts of the lesson, and you could ask them to put on a post-it note to put on a bit of information about each category. Now, how do we share this with the pupils so that they can all contribute to this one frame? So what we do is we click the 3 vertical dots, share, tap on our name, and then here you'll see it's still private, so we tap change and we're choosing editor because we want them to be able to make changes to it. And then tap on the link, copy it, and then go to your meeting. So go to my classroom, I tap in the link to open up my meeting, join, and then everybody will be joining your meeting. When you've got everybody into your meeting, then click on the 3 vertical dots, in call messages, tap and paste, and then send that link through. Now you have to wait till everybody comes into the meeting, because if someone comes in late, they don't see, remember, the messages that were posted in there before the meeting started. If somebody does join late, hold your finger down on here, click copy, and then paste it back in for them, and they'll be able to join. Okay, and they'll often tell you, they'll just say they haven't got the link, can you send the link through again? So back to our Jamboard then. So notice this, if I tap here to go back in and click on the Jamboard link, again, this is what your pupils will often get. So when I load up a jam, and you'll see this if you're opening up other jams that you have made, when I tap on the Jamboard, my tools down the side aren't here. So how do I get it back into this mode where I can make my changes? I need to click this little pencil tool down at the bottom corner. And now I'm back into this mode where I can make changes. Okay, so that's one example. The next example I want to show you is doing a mind map type of a question. This time I want to show you these assistive drawing tools. Look how handy these are. So down here I can use this text, and if I wanted to start a mind map type question, I can do this. And look, it recognized my text. Then I can move that around like this. If I made a mistake or didn't want it, I can drag it like that down to the bottom. If I really want to keep that, I can tap here on this undo and get it back again. If I wanted a shape around it, so I click on the shapes tool and draw a shape around, and it made me a nice shape. Notice that it chose a background colour for whatever pen I had selected. So if I selected red here to the shape, it goes around. Now my text is right in underneath that. To send it behind the text, use the selection tool, tap on it, 3 dots, and send to back. And now it's back in here. So also what I can do is, use a bit of colour now. If I wanted to annotate on here some of these categories, so this is what the pupils would do. They could come on and annotate around all the different bits of information they know about this topic. So I can annotate around here, and then if I wanted to put some images along with these, what I could do is use this assistive drawing tool. So if I wanted to put on a picture of a computer, so I'm attempting to draw a computer here, notice down below it recognized somehow that that was meant to be a computer, and I can tap here and put the computer in. Natural language, if I maybe try to draw somebody speaking. Okay, not as much luck this time, but what I can do is, so I'm just going to select this and erase it. So notice I use the selection tool, sketch around it, drag that into the bin. What I can do though is search in the images here for a natural language interface. If I scroll down, see if I can find something relevant, and the pupils love this, they love putting images in. So I can tap here and that works for me, and there I go. Okay, so another thing that you can do is to grab some piece of a handout or a workbook that you're working on and send it into this as well for the pupils to use. Or it could be, say, a past paper question. You could open the past paper question document up and then take a screenshot of it. So let me show you an example of taking a screenshot of something from a Notability handout. So I double tap here, there's my Notability handout open. So if you find the particular document that you want, so say I wanted to do this, I take a screenshot of it. So finger on the power button, finger on the home button and lift. So tap on the image, drag in your corners, and then click done. Save to photos, and that's it. So then back into my Jamboard, so I double tap the home button there to switch between my apps. Then in here, plus, this time I'm taking it from my image library. There it is, and it arrives in here. Now it's really small, so 2-pinch zoom to make it larger. Now if I wanted the pupils to annotate all around this and make changes to it, to use the sticky notes tool to put in some more information on it, then what I could do is give each pupil their own copy of this. So they're working in their own frame, and then I can go through and monitor each pupil as they're working. So the way you do that is you tap up here, and then you'll notice that these are all the frames that we've created. If I click plus, it just gives me a blank one. So I don't want a blank one. I want one that actually is a copy of the previous one. So I tap on it and then I choose duplicate. And notice that they're getting the exact same copy the whole way across. Another good use of this is if you are taking in an item from your drive. So I use this quite a bit. So if I go to my drive content, in here I have my document with all the questions that I want the pupils to go down through. So here's a set of practice questions that I want to do. So I've brought that in from my drive. Notice it goes in really small, but if I double tap like that, it expands out. And it's like a little mini page viewer. I can scroll through like this. So if I wanted to do this question with them, I could drag that out onto the frame, close the little X here and just move that up there temporarily. Take this one, expand it out, and I can do all my modelling and discussion on this, talk the pupils through how to do this particular question. So I can do all my workings out on it, annotate directly over it, explain how to solve it. And then what I can do is either duplicate the one out to all the other pupils that I have modelled, or I can simply go back up to here, selection tool, tap on my document, double tap again, scroll down, and that was question 3. I could get them to then work on another question. So I can then go to another slide and I have everything sitting ready in my drive content, and I bring that little document up and I can then copy that out to the pupils and they'll see this little document in the corner, and I can just tap on that and do 3 dots and duplicate that across, duplicate, and so on. And if we look here, you can see they all get that little copy with the notes, and then I can differentiate. I can then say, okay, Sally, I want you to do question number 1. And she can then bring number 1 out, and then I can say to the next pupil, you do question 2, and so on. And it means that I can differentiate within the lesson and still be able to give live feedback during the live lesson. So the way that I traverse through the work, I tap here and then I can just simply scroll like this through the work, and the one that has the blue frame around it is the active one that I'm looking at, and I can go in, use the pen tools, mark it as they're working. I hope you find this useful, and please let me know if you have any other ideas for using Jamboard on your iPad.